into the wood, cottage smelling faintly but unmistakably of death.
Do you have a case of the gloomies like me? If so, welcome to Ruby Gloom's easy-ish history rundown. Martin Hsu, an Asian American artist who started in Taiwan, who made his way to LA, and who created some very special things. Growing up in Taiwan, Martin learned his passion for drawing, crouching around a small tea table with his grandparents' house, ripping out pieces of calendar and drawing on them. He learned what to draw by looking at family photo books and Asian history and also mythology, which is really cool. He was very small and his family lived through the second... What? His family lived through the second Sino-Japanese War, so it was very difficult for him to express to his parents that he liked anything around Japanese culture. So he really kept his inspiration with also Japanese culture to himself, and he was afraid to express that at the time. After this, growing up a little more, at around 12 years old, Martin begins facing health problems. Okay. After this, Martin began facing health problems at around 12 years old, leaving him and his family, uprooting and moving to the Americas in 1991. He felt uncomfortable and he felt bad for his family that had to uproot and move themselves to a whole new country. Martin says that completely transformed his life. He was known as the sick kid, and now he's known as the captain of the high school badminton team. In the following 10 years as a professional designer, I created an illustrator called Ruby Gloom. Martin says he's created plenty of illustrations for Nickelodeon and Disney. He also worked on shows like Fish Hooks, and that is the late 1990s to early 2000s, where Ruby Gloom created Martin Hsu. No, where Martin Hsu created Ruby Gloom. Mighty Fine, an American clothing company. They made many things like this Garfield shirt. He's a Frankenstein. It was founded in 1997 by Stacy Brand and Guy Brand. The company's DNA is built on strong design sense and approach to fashion. They would go around to local creators and artists that would draw things, and they would put on clothes at first, and then they branched out to designs like Snoopy, French Kitty. They also worked with Eternal Sunshine and Dough World shirt, which is their subsidiary brand. Their subsidiary brand, Dough World, almost being entirely scrubbed from the internet, by the way. This was a pain in the ass to find, but the only piece of this is archived magazine from Honolulu 2001. Here it is, right here. This brand did Lenore, Ruby Gloom, Scary Miss Mary. Bought by Mad Engine in 2017. Mighty Fine was coming to an end. This is when sneak peek Ruby's is already going down and everything is kind of dying out. In 2017, they were bought by a wholesale brand that offers wholesale apparel, accessories, and more all ages and all genders. Today, Mighty Fine is based in the garment district of California, LA, and is thriving as a wholesaler to specialty market in the department stores, primarily in junior and kids apparel. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is Nelvana, a Canadian animation studio. They were founded in July of 1971. Nelvana co-produced adult animations like the first season of Clone High, John Colan's Quads, and Bob and Margaret, and Committed. Nelvana International distributes stuff like Fairly Odd Parents and Backyardigans, the latter of which was co-produced with Nick Jr. As of 2001, the library comprised of more than 1,650 cumulative hours. As with many other animation studios, they have a wide range of original and not original productions, such as Clone High, Bob and Margaret, and Beetlejuice, which is super nice. This company will come up later. It's very important on how Ruby Gloom probably got to you as you know her now, which is usually on a screen that's not your phone. I mean, could have been, probably not. Ruby Gloom, late 1990s to early 2000s. While working for Mighty Fine, the first version of Ruby ever drawn on a single piece of paper by Martin. This version of Ruby is known as Angsty Ruby. Ruby is described as the happiest girl in the world, which is a self-served, aware drab at her gothic appearance. Making a website for Ruby in 2001, in November of 2001, the website took off, marketing of the official beginning of Ruby's reap on the public eye. Angsty Ruby was sold to the company Mighty Fine and their subsidiary brand Dough World in 2001. Martin Hsu created Ruby Gloom originally for the more adult goth audience. That's why it had themes such as hardly ever smiling and so on and so forth. As it grew, eventually she started to smile a little bit more, which is great. In 2002, the style guide art is for the toy and merchandise, both designed by Martin Hsu. Ruby Gloom's stationery products were the first merch to be made, which were sold through Dough World, a subsidiary brand of Mighty Fine's, of course. Pencils, notebooks, pencil cases, erasers, etc., expanding to bed sets and clothes. The first use is January 15th, 2002, used in commercial January 15th, 2002, alongside characters like Afrokin, Hello Kitty, and Bad Kitty. On the Dough World website, Ruby Gloom, an outline of Ruby and her name pictured beneath it. Clicking on her name shows nothing due to Flash shutting down and no longer has worked and cannot be found. The application filing date for the copyright of Ruby Gloom was made in May 24th, 2002, and the publication date was November 26, 2002. And the registration date was February 18th, 2003, making Ruby officially trademarked. 2003 to 2005 is where Ruby really begins to evolve, especially her website. May 2003 to February 9th, 2004, along with the music, the loading screen with Ruby, her logo, a cute little crow, a spooky gothic atmosphere. Late 2004, a change of music to match the spooky setting, Ruby Gloom logo plastered on the front page. Scrolling down, there's a recent news page forum called Gloomy News by Gloomy Angel. Clothes and unfortunately more things that are partially or completely lost to time, and like a documentation. April 2004, changes to show recent discussions you can no longer see. Avatar of the month. Her first book, Ruby Gloom's Keys to Happiness, to start illustration in October of 2004. A book about various misfortune adventures with Ruby and Doom Kitty, published by Abrams Books and illustrated by Martin Hsu, as well as 2 calendars for 2004 and 2005. Also, 2005 Ruby is featured on Animation Magazine MPTV edition. Guide to Friendship was posted and published on May 1st, 2005, making it her first published book. Just a couple months before I was born, actually. It all started here. Ruby blowing some bubbles, surrounded by pink Hello Kitty keychains in a New York toy fair, all manufactured by the same company, Nakajima. Ruby Gloom stood out to one special executive, going straight to the Nakajima and demanding the creator of Ruby Gloom's information, and convincing the creators at Mighty Fine to sell her into television. And here's the cover to that. Around early 2005, Martin Hsu sold the rights of Ruby Gloom to the Canadian animation studios company, Nelvana. The executive producer of the show says, "When I think of Ruby, I think of a little character that just insisted on being animated." I have to agree. You can't lie. Ruby is the perfect character to introduce to your kids when they are trying to learn, and it is, in my opinion, a very entertaining kids show. As a kid, I was entertained. I'm still entertained. I still watch it. I still, if I'm watching my little nieces or nephews, not my nieces or nephews, my little cousins, I will most definitely put it on and watch either that or Spooky Godmother. No matter what season it is, it's going on, and you're gonna watch and you're gonna enjoy. October 14th, 2006. It's a rainy day in Canada. and Ruby Gloom has officially premiered on YTV. The first episode out of 40, titled Gloom or Rumor on YTV, soon airing the second episode, Grounded in Gloomsville, October 22nd. Doom with a View, the third episode, airing October 29th. Every several days, a new episode airs, with the first season ending on Sunday, July 1st, 2007. It's an interesting fact that Ruby Gloom was actually considered too dark for a kid's audience in a post 9/11 world. So that is one of the reasons why it was taken down. Along with a little bit, and not just enough of parents complaining like they did with Monster High Dolls. And like it's like that one rumor with Monster High Dolls where it's like they stopped putting Monster High Dolls in coffins because of a school it's like and they stopped putting Monster High Dolls in coffin shit boxes. So like they don't want high school students in coffins, which you know, but they're dead. Like most of them are dead already. Sarah Godin, who voiced Beth from Total Drama and Total Drama Rama, as well as Jodie from the Time Warp Trio from 2005. Iris is voiced by Stacey DePass, who is Crimson from Total Drama, and Emma. Misery is voiced by Emily Hampshire, who voiced Allison from Braceface. Schoolboy is voiced by Scott McCord, who voices Owen in Total Drama. Mr. Poe is voiced by Adrian Truss, who also voices Pete from Total Drama Island. Scaredy Bat is voiced by Peter Colongan, who is also the teacher in the Canadian werewolf coming-of-age horror movie Ginger Snaps. Frank is voiced by David Burney, who is also Polly in Growing Up Creepy. Lynn is voiced by Jimmy Harris, who is in fact married to the voice actor of Iris, and Boo Boo is voiced by Barbara Mambabello. Martin Hasu tweeted, and I quote, "From what I gathered in the win, Ruby was considered by the networks to be too dark and scary for the American audience 15 years ago. I wonder how she'd fit in today." In 2007, you see a massive change in overall aesthetic of the website, aiming towards more kids instead of the gothic adult audience that was more leaned into in 2004 and 2005. You can download wallpapers, icons of the characters from the Ruby Gloom TV show, filling their shoes, making the website more of their style in 2007, depicting the housemates, video and music, fun stuffs, icon and wallpapers, journal entries written by Ruby, links, e-cards, and fun facts about the characters with Ruby's front page. 2007 Canadian Screenwriting Artist Awards. The script for the episode Yam Ween, written by Carolyn Bennett, was a finalist in the 2007 Canadian Screenwriting Awards. September 27, 2007, Ruby Gloom was nominated for a Gemini Award in the category of Best Animated Series or Program. Sadly, Ruby didn't score either one of these awards. This is an honorable mention from 2008, the Sony Music Entertainment YouTube video, music video from Japan. Amazing. Sunday, July 8, 2008, Episode 1 of Season 2, Tooth or Dare. Scaredy Bat is terrified at the prospect of losing his wisdom tooth, a fear of losing all his wisdom. He's even more terrified of the scary tooth fairy coming in the middle of the night to snatch his tooth. July 15th, 2008, Venus D. Gloomsville, Episode 2 of Season 2. The screenplay writing contest deadline is in 2 days, and Venus hasn't written a word. With a working uploading schedule of every 7 days into the 4th episode, 40 days working, 320 hours assuming a 8-hour workday, 17 non-working days including 8 Saturdays, 8 Sundays, and 1 federal holidays, US, falling on weekends. September 10th, 2007, Episode 4, titled Name That Tune. Schoolboy sets out to bring his latest script, The Adventures of School Kid, to the big screen. September 17th, School in the Family. September 24th, Writing on the Wall. October 27th, Happy Yam Ween. November 11th, Deja Vu Again. Season 2 marked the end of Ruby Gloom as a TV show on June 1st, 2008. Last Train to Gloomsville Part 2. As of late, dozens of petitions were made to try to bring the attention to the creators to know that there is still an audience of children and adults who were children and enjoying this content, and also adults who have grown up and also like the content when it was being made. Bring it back. Everybody would love that and love to see it. Besides Martin José's very few mentions of a possible want to bring back Ruby, there has been zero mentions of a revival TV show for Glooby due to the show just not hitting the expectations of the creators. Ruby Gloom, the TV show, was cancelled. The show continued to air reruns on YTV in Canada into the early 2010s and on Nickelodeon Canada starting in 2014, and the American audience reaching Ruby Gloom on Netflix in 2016. Let me know how you found her. Airing on Nickelodeon in Canada, Spain, the Netherlands, Portugal, and on Cartoon Network in most of Southeast Asia, India, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. Due to the declining viewership and the niche target audience, the merchandise performance not being great, despite having a distinct aesthetic, the merchandising efforts around Ruby Gloom did not perform as well as expected, impacting the show's profitability and viability. The network changes in the programming strategies at the network's airing show, including shifts in focus to different genres or demographics, contributed to the decision to cancel the series is what eventually killed the Ruby Gloom TV show. But not Ruby. No. Queen is alive. I'd love to work on a Ruby Gloom reboot. She stayed quite relevant in the past 20 years. No. 2008, starting off strong in a Halloween cosplay parade in Japan. 2009, the Ruby Gloom trademark is cancelled. September 26, 2009, date trademark is cancelled September 26, 2009. 2011, and the website is having a little mental breakdown. It's rubygloom.com is splashed with bright pink spray as drawings with a Ruby Gloom gallery, e-cards, and of course fun stuff which includes wallpapers. There are still e-cards. The new application to reinstate the trademark was June 06, 2011. It was approved for publication for the Ruby Gloom trademark in 2011 of October. In 2015, Toon Boom Animation making Ruby Gloom in Harmony. This is really cute. 2017, everything changes. The whole website is changed, becoming a private website under the name of www.nelvana.com. 2019, the website is becoming public and being used by the Canadian animation companies. Ruby Gloom website is now a Canadian animation website and is public, and you can go on there right now. www.nelvana.com. 2023, Hot Topic starts selling Ruby Gloom merchandise without paying Martin Joseau allegedly. Hot Topic tried to talk to the middleman in between Mighty Fine and Hot Topic, but still Martin hasn't saw any resolution, as well as him saying Mighty Fine never paid him properly for Ruby Gloom. I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. Well, Ruby Gloom would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for your meddling kids. Parents complaining about the Ruby Gloom TV show's tone, scared that their child might go around complaining or saying they want a Ouija board, possibly just more of the conservative type of 2006 era parent that hated all things that maybe be a little bit more edgy, is one of the several attributed factors that did lead to the eventual downfall of Ruby Gloom as a brand. And that is it for this video. I have an Instagram and a Spotify, Von Vominatrix. You can follow me there. Thank you again, and goodbye. Jesus Christ.